It's podcast time.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! You guys ready? Happy Monday. Should we change the song soon?
I think we should.
Okay. It's been a while with this
Old
song.
hat. Is that what they say?
Is it old hat?
Woo! We have to have something that we can woo or wah or...
Something with a W, definitely. Welcome back to the podcast, guys, from AM to PM. I am AM.
And I am PM.
And we are your podcast hosts. So we've got a lot of questions recently on specific topics. Priscilla even put a post on Facebook.
I did, yeah, on my Scylla Stuff and Things page. Little shameless plug there. But it's fun to post things and like ask questions.
Like, what do you guys want us to talk about?
Yeah.
But somebody had asked, this was actually, I don't remember they asked in that thread or it was unrelated. It doesn't matter. But they asked about jobs, like side hustle. Like, what have you guys not done? I was
Right.
like, oh, that'd be a good topic.
It would be.
Yeah. So, because we've done a lot. You know, a lot of stuff like, you know, we were W-2 employees, right? Like we got, you know, on the payroll.
Been in the corporate world.
Yeah, I've done a lot of that. I was in the Coast Guard when we first met.
Yep.
Right? Priscilla's first job after married.
Was Lum's Auto Center as a title clerk.
In Astoria, Oregon.
Yeah.
Shout out Lums.
Yeah.
If they're still there, I have no idea.
I have no
It's
idea.
20 years ago.
Toyota dealership.
Yeah. I mean, I was obviously, you know, going to the Coast Guard. I had family members in the Coast Guard. I didn't want to do college anymore. That's why I was like, I don't want to have debt. I want to get out and start working. Little did I know how little the military paid. Holy crap.
And you have to tell them what you were going to college for.
So I was in PreSeminary. I went to Bible college. I was going to be a preacher. I was going to be a shepherd of man. Shocking, I know.
And you know, like, you're an awesome human.
Thanks.
I just can't see you as a preacher.
That's
like-
thanks.
I mean, what's your other job that I could totally see you doing?
Not
like,
that awesome.
No, I'm not saying
a
that you're
human.
not awesome enough. Hey, there's some shady. Never
Priscilla,
mind.
there's some shade preachers. Priscilla was going to be a maritime captain. Yeah, she wanted to be a ship captain.
Of a cruise ship.
Yeah.
That is so not my
She
personality.
went to,
just so
you
all
went
know.
to a job fair or like a school fair type of deal?
So the ship, the Massachusetts Maritime Academy ship pulled into Guantanamo Bay.
Oh.
And I fell in love with it. And I was like, this is what I want to do. My mom's like, that's a terrible idea. You do not want to do that. That is not your personality. I'm like, I'm doing it.
So Massachusetts Maritime Academy, if you're not familiar, is boot camp. I mean, it is like...
Paid.
I've been to boot camp, and I saw the videos of Massachusetts Maritime, and I'm like, that's boot camp. That's legit. Hey, Ab. We got a little bit of chaos going here. Abby's out of school. They're doing construction next door. We're in the middle of a thunderstorm. Nala keeps wanting to jump from the buffet to the table that we're sitting at, so it's a little crazy around here. But yeah, so she went through that. She was like, not for me.
Not for me at all. I did my first semester. Then we were getting ready to go out to sea, and I was like, yeah, I don't think I'm cut out to do this. So I ended up choosing to go a different route in life. And that's okay.
So after post Coast Guard, you know, we did, I was a mechanic. A lot of you guys know that I was a mechanic. So I worked for a Honda dealership, Honda certified tech.
And I was working at Lowe's I was in the customer service training program there when I was pregnant with Abigail. And then once we had Abigail,
she worked until the day before her.
And then I
It
went.
was a scheduled C-section, so
Yeah.
until the day before she was.
And then I went back after because that's when your mom was watching Ab.
Yeah.
But then we decided to move to Florida
Yeah.
for jobs because we needed better jobs.
Right. Yeah. Lots of opportunity here. Specifically the port. We moved here for the port. Again, still a mechanic. I was working on, big diesel-powered forklifts
And I was a
stackers
checker.
yeah.
So it was pretty crazy, just checking in trucks, like over-the-road trucks.
We worked at the same place. We rarely saw each other except for lunch.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And a lot of times we didn't have the same lunch break.
Right.
So we wouldn't see each other at all.
So you left there. I don't remember how long you stayed there, but I was there for 5 years.
I was there 1 year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I actually moved away from being a checker and became a manager of a warehouse of the barge that goes to Guantanamo Bay, Cuba for our military members. which was so cool because that's where Asa and I met. So, and like I grew up, it's on the barge. Like,
I think
where is
Priscilla
it?
gained a lot of experience from management between Lowe's and just working in, kind of realizing what you do and don't want to do,
Right.
for a job.
Exactly.
So we've had, like I said, we've had a lot of I worked for as a mechanic in several different places. I was in charge of myself. That was the best job ever. The one place I was actually in charge of myself. I didn't really have a boss. Was when I worked for a golf course construction company. I ran the shop that maintained excavators and off-road dump trucks and all, skid steers, all of our equipment. I ran that shop, and that was the best job because it had like not freedom as like time, but like because I was working 70 plus hours a week, but freedom as far as like I could do the job how I thought the job needed to be done. Mm-hmm. Priscilla called me the 90-day man.
Yeah. Well, and you were really good at the the golf course construction company.
Yeah.
Like you were good at that job.
Yeah. It was.
You loved it.
A good fit for me.
Yeah.
I could, I created service plans for all the machines. Like it was a lot of administrative stuff plus the hands-on mechanic stuff. It was kind of like being my own boss, but someone else was writing the paycheck. But it was the closest thing I had done to like true entrepreneurship as far as creating something. They didn't have a service plan for anything or, they didn't have anything set up. I created the shop there and it was really cool.
Yeah.
So, that was kind of my first like taste of, oh, this is what it's like. Mm-hmm. Okay. The only difference was your own failures. Like when you work for somebody else, if you fail at something, it doesn't impact you. It impacts the business.
Right.
That's the biggest difference. But yeah, that was kind of our first day. So it was a great job. Again, it was really long hours, so that sucked because I did not see the family very much.
Well, and that was a hard time because that's when we were getting Abigail diagnosed.
Yeah.
That's when she started early steps. So I was working full time and doing all of that at the same time. So that became overwhelming.
Like if you guys ever have any Florida specific questions on like steps to take or who to talk to. Now a lot has changed in 15 years, but Priscilla would be the person to ask those questions to because she did everything as far as children go and Abigail and getting the right things in place. She was in charge of that 100%. So I was just, I was working ridiculous hours. But yeah, so we really got into our entrepreneurial thing. So we did like the stay-at-home mom, stay-at-home dad thing off and on. We were finding it really hard to find childcare for Abigail. She was too old and had too high of needs for a lot of these programs. So that's where we were struggling. So we tried to do the stay-at-home thing. One income was very difficult.
Right.
We were paying for therapy out of pocket. We're paying $75 an hour for ABA to get as much as we could afford, which is very little.
Right. Because this is before insurance ever even, paid for ABA therapy at all.
Yeah, way back.
There was no mandates for it.
Yeah. So that was a real struggle for us, and like, okay, we need to supplement this income somehow. I actually started working on equipment out of our garage, like a little side hustle. I put my name out there. I started making business cards, stuff like that. I got in trouble for it. I kept it real quiet on the down low. I keep the garage door shut. I'd have people pull up, drop stuff off, leave. Like I didn't want any trouble. Somebody called, homeowners association said, "Hey, you can't be doing this." And I was like, "Are you running a shop out of your garage?" And it wasn't like a full blown shop. I just had a lift bench, my toolbox. Like I was trying to keep it real low key. I didn't have machines lined up outside. It was like one at a time in the garage, just trying to make it, an extra dollar so that I could pay for Abby's therapy. And someone called, which it's in the rules. It's not their fault. They weren't being a jerk. It's my fault. I broke the rules. So I was like, all right, fine. I'll open my own shop.
Well, that's the time I was like, okay, so either go get a 9-to-5 working for someone else, or we're going to open a shop.
Right. So that's when the first little spark of it happened. I did end up finding a 9-to-5. Right. I went, got a job running a shop for another guy. And I told her, and I was like, there was some values that I did not follow. So I was like, I can't do this, babe. I can't. So I called her. And I said,
I'm at the grocery with Abigail doing
I have
therapy.
to quit. Like, I can't keep doing this. I need to open my own shop. She's like, Asa, then just do it. Just open your own shop. Stop talking about it and do it. So I called back 30 minutes later. I said, okay, I did it. And she's like, I didn't mean today. Like what? I went to the boss. I said, listen, man, what do you need me to do before I leave? Because I can't do this. And he's like, we need that tractor fixed, and I need you to update me on everything we got going on. And I did it. And
Y'all, this man. Oh.
So I quit.
Yeah. He quit.
Yep. Started doing our own thing. We opened a shop up. We had a playroom in the back for the kids.
Yep.
We called it A&P Equipment Services because we didn't know what kind of equipment. This is a general term. We didn't know if we were going to work on, diesel machinery, if I was going to be working on motorcycles, if we were going to be working on refrigerators. I had no idea. I had experience in a lot of things and formal training in a lot of things. So that's what we did. And Priscilla was like, okay, here we go. She's always been along for the ride on all these crazy things. We cashed in her 401k.
Yep.
We took a risk. We opened our business. And like I said, playroom in the back. We'd be there till 2 a.m. The kids would be asleep. We had a bed back there, in the back office, TV and all that, bunch of toys and stuff. Isaiah had a video game console. They would come there after school and hang out. Priscilla would be working the front counter. I'd be in the back turning wrenches. That business grew.
Your true, how crazy is it? It's like your true 1960s mom and pop.
Yeah.
Like kids. I mean,
Isaiah would stand at the front counter and talk to customers if Priscilla was in the back helping with something.
The place that you worked at in North Carolina was exactly like that, And so it was
the owner's daughter would come in. Yep,
it was so cool. And Isaiah has some great memories from there, So
Abby was obsessed with, what's the Penguin movie? Happy Feet.
Happy Feet. Oh my gosh.
Abby watched Happy Feet 5,000 times. So Isaiah knows every word to every song in Happy Feet to this day.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
But it was a true family business, and our kids grew up watching mom and dad hustle.
Yeah.
And,
we eat dinner together every night.
Yep.
We even on the late nights, we eat dinner together every night. Like we were with each other. Abby, I have so many memories and pictures of Abby sitting on a zero-turn mower with me going out testing a machine or doing an ATV.
That was her favorite part.
She loved test rides.
Yeah.
She did every test ride. So to this day, she still gets super excited about the sound of a motorcycle going by.
Yeah.
She gets all amped up. I think it was just because it was part of her childhood.
I always joke that her boyfriend's he's going to be a biker guy. So we did that. And then, once the kids got older, Isaiah was in high school, we were still doing this, right? Or middle school, maybe. I think middle school.
Yeah.
So obviously, I would be driving.
We had the
kids
shop
around.
for 8 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would be driving kids back and forth. I would be doing therapies with them while you were working.
Yeah.
And then once we got into where both of the kids were in school all day long, I decided I was going to go work for Shipt.
Yeah.
Because you were able to work the front counter. We had employees at the shop, and I was like, I really want to go do this. I want to grocery shop for people. So I did it for 2 years. Loved it. I mean, we started vlogging then, so we were vlogging when I was shifting. And I loved it. It just was effortless, but I got to help people. I would take flowers to people. It was just fun.
Yeah.
But you have done so many things in between.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you, what were your side hustle? What is your side hustle? Or do you have a side hustle? Do you want a side hustle? I think it's such a cool thing, and nowadays it's such a big deal. There is YouTube channels dedicated to side hustle ideas.
Right.
Everybody's looking for a side hustle, make ends meet, doing extra little things here. Lots of ship shoppers and food delivery
making.
people, and one of Priscilla's friends does the cups with the resin.
Tumblers,
the tumblers with the resin and the roller thingy, and everybody's got something they're doing.
Oh my gosh, all these ladies have Cricuts.
Yeah.
They can vinyl anything. You have
all these Etsy stores out there.
Yep.
So let's see. At one point we bought a landscaping company.
Oh yeah.
We bought an account, or we bought all the equipment, a trailer full of equipment. And all the accounts that came with it for $5,000. Bought it all.
So we were closed on Mondays at the shop.
Yeah. Motorcycle shops are traditionally closed on Mondays.
Yep. So we would go take the kids to school, and Asa and I would go out and cut grass all day until they got out of school.
We could typically knock out 8 to 10 yards in one day. So we had one customer, she flips houses. So those are mow, blow, and go. It's what that, is. You go in, you cut it, you blow everything off, you trim if needed. You didn't trim every time, and then you go on to the next place. You just knocking them out one right after the other, driving all over town, hitting all these properties. But man, I have some memories there. It's Priscilla. I had a walk behind, a commercial grade walk behind. It has a small deck, so it would fit into the back gates, right, of properties. So I would be out front on the big walk behind the big 48.
Take a break.
Okay.
Sorry.
The big 48-inch walk behinds, cutting the front, and I look in the backyard, and this mower that Priscilla had would do, if you like low speed on it, was like 8 miles an hour. That's fast going around corners. And she's got like her feet up in the air. I swear she looked like Superman behind this mower. But and then she'd get in the truck, and I'll never forget it to this day. Like Priscilla, you guys know Priscilla. She's a princess. Just a princess. She gets in the truck, and the look on her face, because she wanted to use the backpack blower. She wanted to try that out. I give her the backpack blower, get her going and everything. She gets in the truck, and there's just lines of dirt in like every crevice of her body. And she is miserable. And I was like, okay, I can't do this on my own. And I feel like she doesn't care for this a whole lot. And I'm not going to hire somebody else. So I think it's time to move on. But it was a great lesson for us. Not a bad lesson. It was good. It was good work. It was, good money. Like, I wanted to buy a landscaping business, and so we did, and then we sold it. We sold off all the equipment, sold off the accounts, and got out of that. Some of the stuff happened by accident. Some of the stuff happened by necessity. Abby had just gotten into communicating with her iPad, right? And she was breaking screens on them regularly enough that I needed to learn how to fix the screens. I didn't want to pay someone else to do that. So went on YouTube, learned how to do that. And next thing you know, I was repairing iPad screens for her. Well, then friends of kids with autism found out that I could repair iPad screens.
Way cheaper than what?
Yeah, well, I would just charge them for the screen.
Right.
Like, here's a screen I got off of Amazon, $20. Here's your iPad screen, right? Here's your fresh iPad. So I started doing that, and I never charged any parents on it. I wasn't going to charge parents on it. I was like, this life's hard enough. You know what I mean? Just give me the money for the screen, and we're good, because I would order the screen for them. But then I was like, I can do iPhones too, so I started replacing screens on phones. So then I had iMobile Jacks was on that business card. I had
people would come to our motorcycle shop. They come to the motorcycle shop. They
get there and be like, "Is this the phone repair?" I'm like, "Yeah." So I had a station set up in the back office with a full I can't remember what it's called, like the heating doohickey to heat the glue off of the screen, and like full toolkit. I had everything set up to replace screens on things. I did lots of phones, lots of iPads. It was good.
Yeah.
It was good stuff.
So then we discovered eBay.
Yeah.
And we found this lady who kept selling lots.
Well, I've been an eBay hustler for a minute. Let me tell you. I
This man would come home with 10 boxes of phone cases, y'all.
I knew a guy.
I feel like we still might have some.
I bet you I have a box of phone cases somewhere. I knew a guy. So if you go to Sprint, AT&T, T-Mobile, whatever. So they literally put the phone cases on older phones into boxes, and they put them in the back. Then they throw them in the dumpster. Boxes of phone cases. I knew a guy that worked at Sprint. I think I met him on Craigslist. I met him from Craigslist. Say, hey, I'm selling. It was legit. He's like, I'm selling. He sold a whole box of phone cases. So
for like $35 or something. It was crazy.
So I'd go buy boxes of phone cases for him, and I'd list them all on eBay. So I'm making $20, $30 per phone case.
We are literally driving around Jacksonville, meeting these sketchy people in sketchy parking lots, selling phone cases.
And phones, because I would buy phones, fix them, and flip them.
Or you could get the code or whatever, the ones that were unlocked.
Yeah.
Oh, unlocked phone, y'all.
Yeah.
There's a big, I don't know if it's still like that, but there was a big hustle for unlocked phones.
Yeah, I could get a phone, unlock it.
We spent so many hours.
All on the up and up, all legit,
by
the way.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't have a business license for this phone hustle, but, it wasn't like stolen phones or anything like that.
We spent so many hours in the AT&T store getting new SIM cards and getting codes to unlock all the things.
I purchased.
They knew him by first name.
I would either purchase or be gifted lawn tractors.
Oh my gosh.
Like one summer, I bet. I mean, we cleared a few $1,000s off of that.
Yeah.
Because I'd have like a customer, lawnmower customer, because we worked on mowers too. I'd have a equipment customer who's like, hey, I got this lawnmower. I bought this new one that I'm going to get you change the oil on, but I got this old one in the garage if you want it. I'm like, sure, I go get it. Well, I had access to cheap parts, inexpensive parts because I had accounts, obviously, so I could, with parts suppliers, so I could get all my parts for all this equipment. So I didn't have a lot in the machine, but I would fix them up to where they're really nice and then flip them. And I'd get a free lawn tractor and then flip it for $600 or $700, or give a guy $50 for a broke down lawnmower,
or chainsaw.
Swap the engine out of it with another one that had a rusted out deck, and and turn two into one, and sell it for $500. So yeah, it was constant. I was constantly flipping stuff. I'd have customers abandon things at the shop, like, hey man, I'm not gonna put that much money in to fix it. To them, it wasn't worth it, but to me, it's my labor and my parts, so it's less expensive. So I'd fix stuff up and put it for sale tag on it. I was flipping equipment like nobody's business.
My mom's like, you never have to worry about going hungry being married to Asa Moss. I'm like, I know.
I was always hustling.
He's a hustler.
I always had that side thing going on. Oh my gosh, the weirdest one. The lady with the toys.
Y'all.
So how did we find that?
I think it was on Craigslist. She had all this stuff listed, and we looked it up, and we were like, it's brand new in the box.
Yeah.
We can flip this on eBay.
So this was like
So we would
this
buy
stuff came from a school.
But we would buy from Craigslist because it's way cheaper.
Yeah.
And it's local, and then we would flip it on eBay.
And okay, so it's actually a complex economy when it comes to flipping. You have like storage unit, right? Abandoned storage unit gets auctioned off. Person that buys the storage unit then sells the stuff that's in the storage unit. If they don't sell them, if they don't want to put the time in to sell them individually, they sell them in bulk amounts if it's bulk type items, like these toys, boxes and boxes of toys. We figure it was like from a preschool or something like that.
They were learning toys.
Lots of developmental and learning educational toys. Still in the packaging. Yeah, we gave a bunch away to like schools and stuff. We sold a bunch on eBay, like to Abby's school, like we gave them stuff, we sold a bunch on eBay, but yeah, we were like flipping educational toys. Like it was crazy. Like, and I just stumbled upon it because I was always looking on Craigslist for things that I could flip, but I was doing like the yard sale flip thing way before Gary Vee made it cool. Like way before. Yeah, that was the thing. We did we dabbled in the storage unit. We never bought one, did we?
No, we would go.
We never auction.
It's too I don't know. It's intimidating.
It is intimidating, and I didn't my first venture into it, I didn't want to lose my butt on something.
Yeah.
And a lot of those guys are pretty experienced.
Yeah.
Like it's not like you see on TV on Storage Wars, but they're pretty experienced in that. And I was like, man, I don't even know what to
remember you
look
also
for.
did boat repair at one point.
Oh yeah, I had a
boat
mobile boat repair business. Yeah, I had a laptop stand in my truck. I would go around. I had a printer in my truck. I'd go around. I was, this is back before like you didn't just have like, let me email you your invoice. It was before that. So I was literally printing off people's invoices. I would go to their house, and because I was a mechanic in the Coast Guard. Mm-hmm. So, but I was always looking for something, some edge up. I always had this business idea of like, I wanted to be out on my own. That's a lot of the stuff I did while I was working for other people as well.
Right.
So like on the weekends, I would do the mobile boat repair, and I would go out. People pay a lot of money for you to come to their house and change their oil. I did that while I was working for the John Deere dealership.
Yeah.
Because I learned, because at the John Deere dealership, I was the mobile guy.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You're tapping a lot.
Sorry. I was the mobile guy for the John Deere dealership. And I was like, man, people pay a lot of money for you to come to them.
It's a convenience.
And I'm not going to undercut the company I work for. So I was like, I can do boats.
Yeah.
I was certified as a marine mechanic. So I was like, I can do boats. So that's what I started doing. That was crazy. People pay all kinds of stuff. Like oil change? That much? Yeah, I don't even remember what it was, but it was wild. But yeah, we've always
So
had.
this is how we've gotten to where we're at today. And this is why we have like 10 different things going on at one time.
Never stop going.
Yeah, this has been our life for 21 years. Like, it's not new.
And we're still doing it. I think the scale has just changed now.
Yeah.
You know, we are.
And it looks different.
It does look different. Yeah. But, you know, a lot of it's online now.
Well, so Lime Life, I started when we saw them. Did we still have the motorcycle shop?
No.
No. But I started it just as like a side thing for me.
Yeah.
To do for me.
Yeah.
And it's now become full time for me.
Right.
But it started as a, you know,
Yeah.
side hustle for me.
Well, that's, you know, now it's so different because now it's like, oh, you have like affiliate links, you know, for things, and you have like all these add-ons that you do, you know, and all of them are time consuming. You have to put time into everything.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's we go all day long, but you know, it just looks different. But now we're looking off into different areas. You know, we started a business. We opened Selfie World, completely unrelated. Like it's in the same genre of social media, I guess, because people go there and they post to social media. Other than that, it's not related at all to our online presence. Right? No relation. But then, but you know, like we're doing real estate now, and that's completely unrelated. You know, so now I have an obsessive personality, so I get like, I want to know everything about everything, so I get deep into stuff. But
Yeah.
So that's our next venture. Yeah, so it's all the same thing. It just looks different.
Yep.
You know, not repairing phone screens anymore.
But we have to know, like, are you just like a 9 to 5? Do you want to add, you know, what is the saying that millionaires have to have 7 different sources of income?
Not have to, but most millionaires have 7 earned millionaires.
Yeah.
Not obviously inherited, but
Right.
have 7 forms of income.
Yep.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yep.
Count how many, drop down in the comments how many sources of income you have.
Well, and sometimes it's just about like you go to work for somebody, right? You're trading dollars for time. You're giving them your time, the one resource you can never get back. And sometimes people just want something for themselves, something they have complete control over, something like if they're going to take a day off, they're going to take the day off and nobody's going to tell them no, you know, or maybe it's just, you know, you want to create something with your own hands that's you and has your name on it. And I think sometimes it's just that too.
Yeah.
You know, some people do it, but don't get paid for it. It's just a hobby, you know,
Right.
but it's the same thing, I feel like, you know, definitely the same thing. My hobbies have always been like I think it all started with paying for therapy for Abby.
Yeah.
That's where it started. I started working out of the garage, trying to make that income to pay her that $75 an hour when it was all out of pocket for Abigail. And it kind of went from there. Like it was all, you know, it was like, okay, I see what can be done here. And I've enjoyed the heck out of it.
Yep.
I had to, you know, like professional shop in my garage. Like I had it all set up, business cards and
Yep.
printing off invoices.
The the magnets for the sides of the car from Vistaprint,
Yeah, Vistaprint magnets.
black and gray and white.
Yeah, black and gray and white because the full color was expensive.
Yes.
Full color was at least $12 more. So we went for the monochrome.
Yeah, we've been through some things. We got some stories.
Yeah.
But it's been fun.
And now we get to have opportunities because of what we've done and how hard we've worked, like working with a local sports organization on sponsoring a sensory room for a more inclusive environment.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna build a sensory room in a public venue,
Be a part of that.
and that's gonna be rad. I'm
Yeah.
so excited about that.
Yeah.
So
So cool.
kind of, you know, we can make an impact in our community because of what we've done, and I'm really proud of that. But
Yep.
also really proud to take care of our family and just make money so that we can do things, you know,
Right.
and live a good life and whatever, you know.
Well, and that's a big thing that I have come to the realization that people look at money as being evil, and it's not. Money is
totally.
not evil.
It's what you do with it.
Right. It's definitely what you do with it.
Yeah.
So don't hate on people because they make money. Like if your friends are making more than you, it's okay. It just means they're at a different chapter in life than you are.
Yeah. And if you know, feel like it's unfair, go get some.
Yeah.
They print it every day.
Yep. There's plenty out there.
There is this falsehood that has been created that there's a shortage of money, as in like if one person has it, then another person doesn't. Look it up. If if you disagree, please go look it up. It's just not. It's false. It's just not how it works. There is no limit because we just keep printing it. Now that's not good for our economy, but that's a whole nother podcast. This is what I'm telling you is go get it. It's out there, obviously. You post a video on YouTube and these advertisers put these ads on a video, and all of a sudden you're making money just for posting a video that you would have posted anyway. That's what it was like for us in the beginning,
right,
on YouTube. We're like, oh, they pay. When I first discovered YouTube, I'm like, people get paid for this? Like, they make these videos and then they get paid. And it blew my mind.
Right.
I was like, oh. And then when you learn about the creator economy, you're like, okay, it makes more sense now. Like, I get it. I mean, you're providing
but you
a
do have
service.
to put in the work.
Yeah.
We went 2 years.
That's our favorite story to tell. I can tell you I wouldn't be fixing phone screens for 2 years without getting paid, but and I think that has a lot to do with passion. We were so passionate about creating content online and what we were doing and telling our story that that was the important part to us.
Right.
Because we went 2 years making content on fathering autism on YouTube, and never saw a paycheck. Like it was never a thing. You have to hit a certain threshold of views. It's a whole before they even pay out. And our first payout was like it was so cool. Like we got our first check. It was like $150. We're like, this is awesome. Like look at that. It was only $150. I don't think we got another paycheck for a few months, but and then it was a few years before it became an actual viable thing. But it was so cool. It's cool to see that. It was like, hey, we're like doing something. We're growing something, building something here, and now we have this community.
So when we say we grew it from the ground up, we truly meant that we grew this. So we're super proud.
Yeah,
and it's okay to be proud.
It is okay. It's okay to be proud. It's okay to be to look at what you've done and feel good about it. I mean, for sure. But with humility and be appreciative and
of course. So speaking of being appreciative, thank you so much for listening to us today.
Thanks for hanging out.
Watching whatever you're doing.
Whatever thing that you're doing. Are you a listener or a watcher? Let us know. Well, I guess if you're commenting on a video. Okay, we already know. Never mind. It's a stupid question. See you guys next time.
Bye.
Is this the last time we're going to hear this song?
Maybe.
Soak it up, because you may never hear it again.
Woo! I felt like I needed to go hard.